Well, it is time for a brand new season of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. And for the first time on JB Motorsports, we are going to bring you coverage of the entire season after doing a one-off last year at Monza. It is time to get going for Season 5, and we start our journey here at Misano. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to FRECA. It is a brand new season, and it's basically an era coming to a close after this year. We're going to discuss more about that along with the action that is to come, as we're only 5 minutes away from getting going for our season opening race, which sees Freddie Slater start on pole position. Well, we've currently taken you guys down to the battle screen, and that's just so you are able to see the grid, as with the layout that the timings are currently at, we won't actually be able to you won't actually be able to see it on our normal screen. So you'll see our faces in a second, but you'll be hearing our voices quite a bit throughout the season in the commentary box. My name is Omi, delighted to be with you, and alongside me we've got Wes. Hi Wes.
Good afternoon, Omi. Hello everybody. How's it going? We're all going to be very, very excited for this. The first of 10 rounds, I believe, for the Formula Regional European Championship. And as some of you may have seen already from the live timing, we've got Freddie Slater on pole, continuing that great form he had from GB3 just a week or two ago.
Yep, he is. It was pole position in race 1, pole position in race 2 at the GB3 round 1 week ago. And it was converted to a victory in both of the races. The only place it went wrong was race 3, where we held a reverse grid. He had contact in that one. But he is currently very positive after his also incredible showing when it came to Formula 3 at Bahrain as well. And Slater, a driver who is really performing well, and basically regarded by lots as the next Antonelli, and I'm really happy to be able to just say that phrase now, considering Antonelli's actually made his mark and announced himself properly in Formula 1. Whereas you weren't in our coverage of Formula 1 yesterday, but what was your thoughts on that, and how special is it to see another driver from this championship, and a driver who was talked about so much and doubted by lots of the fans who really didn't know him, just go out there and perform so brilliantly? And well, in about a few hours time, he'll be getting ready to go racing as he tries to win a first race in Formula 1 of any description.
There are certain moments in a driver's career where they really kind of make their mark. They do something or achieve something that just inspires this whole load of confidence. To give an historical example, the driver Mika Hakkinen in the late 90s, when he scored his very first win, that just triggered something in him, and he went on to absolutely dominate the next year. And I think this could be something very similar that we're about to see with Antonelli now. He's got that taste of success where he can say he beat everybody else on the grid, and I think we're all about to see something very special. So just remember where you were the moment you saw it.
Absolutely. I'll remember when we see something brilliant from Antonelli later on that I just finished commentating on FRECA and commentating on another future star. His name is Freddie Slater, and he starts at the front of the field alongside Matteo Di Paolo, who topped part 1 of qualifying earlier on. Rashid Al-Taheri in 3rd position. Evan Gilter, the French driver, will go from 4th on the grid. And then we move down and take a look at Yin Nakamura, who's in 5th. Pedro Calero is in 6th position for Van Amersfoort. Taito Kato in 7th. Kanato Lee is in 8th. He's another driver doing a dual campaign with GB3 and FRECA. And Kanato Lee, Freddie Slater both drive for the Hill Speed team. So does Hayu Yamakoshi, which you'll see in a couple of moments' time. Jack Beaton is in 9th. Nikita Bedrin will start from 10th position. Enzo Deligny is in 11th. Hayu Yamakoshi, we were just mentioning him. He will be in 12th position. And then we look down to 13th, which has Nant Howard Biran Bakhti. Ashke Bora is in 14th. And then we have Ruin Keng Ye, who's in 15th position. Kasper Stuka, a driver who Formula 3 fans will be used to from last year. He'll go from P16 on the grid. And then 17th position belongs to Ricky Lee. He'll go from directly ahead of Enzo Peugeot, who will be slightly disappointed with that qualifying session. Giovanni Maschio is finding himself in 19th position, and then in 20th it is Dion Goda, a qualifying that he wasn't too happy with when he wrote on social media. Tim Gayhard's in 21st, and then we have Borna in 22nd position. Valeria Rinicella is in 23rd, and then in 24th position we have Arthur Arjata in that place, and then directly behind we have Sakura in 25th, and we have Kulkarni, who brought out the red flags earlier on in qualifying when we held that session to decide the grid for the races this weekend, Wes.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a nice mix of the different teams. With the exception of Slater at the front, I think most of the time we should be getting quite a variety of different drivers occupying the different places. I don't think that I think it will be a close championship this time.
Yeah, so we've moved you down to the camera screen. All of the timings that you cannot see right now, they will come into gear basically soon as the new season begins. That's how it works. Gayhards, I believe, was the driver who stalled on the grid. And yes, he is the driver who did stall on the grid after the formation lap. Not what Tim Gayhards wanted at all. We momentarily missed that as we were just trying to catch you up with the grid. But disappointment for Tim Gayhards, his race basically already being affected before the 5 lights had gone out.
Yeah, such a shame for Gerhardt. He's starting the first race of the year, and it just gets you on puts you in a bad headspace. I think when something like that happens, and he'll have to work with his physio and his trainer to try and get past that for future races.
Yep, it really is that exciting as the drivers find themselves heading up towards the grid. It is a circuit that's known a lot for MotoGP. Now can Freddie Slater make his mark in this championship after definitely doing so in the world of Formula 3, in the world of GB3, in the world of Italian F4. He's the reigning champion of that from last year, now into FRECA. And these are the moments where you need to be following this man's journey. If you want to be able to say when he gets to F1 that you followed his journey all the way through like Antonelli fans have been able to over the last 24 hours, then it all starts right here, right now, in this championship. A championship which we can see records broken. A championship which we are reaching an end of an era as well, with Alpine parting ways along with ACI Sport with FRECA. So loads of changes coming to this championship along with the new car next year. Freddie Slater hoping to get a brand new season started with a bang after doing so across different categories so far this year. Everyone is into position, and it means we can sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new season. 5 red lights on! FRECA is go in 2025. It's a slow start off the line for Freddie Slater, having to defend up against Matteo Di Paolo, who dives down the inside into turn number 1. They're side by side for the lead, and it's going to be Matteo Di Paolo who makes his way through, and a spin. Freddie Slater spins around, and that is the worst start to the season that he could have had. His round in the opening meters as we have Di Paolo in the lead.
Oh, that was absolutely unbelievable. Freddie Slater goes round and will not be taking the victory in this race. That was a fantastic start as well from Matteo Di Paolo. Just, I don't know whether Slater maybe got some wheel spin off the start, but Di Paolo, a brilliant drive to take the lead at the first corner.
It all started from a great launch off the line for Matteo Di Paolo, who would have been disappointed to miss out on that pole position. Freddie Slater finds himself round. I think also Yin Nakamura was the other driver who was round as well. Where side by side it's getting super tight as the rest of the field go battling for position. So Di Paolo is at the front. You have Gilter moving up to second place. They are sprayed all over the road as they navigate their way through. Pedro Calera trying to get in the mix. We are getting to the safety car where we didn't have any in Italian F4 as we were predicting in that. We have got to the safety car understandably in FRECA, and our title favourite coming into this year immediately out in the opening corners, and that is basically just the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. I mean, myself and Wes were discussing earlier on about history possibly being made with the first British driver winning at this level. Well, that'll be chucked to tomorrow. There will not be any double. There won't be any of that from Slater. He will have to just go again, try again, once again tomorrow. But it all started from that poor launch off the line. Not what he would have wanted. Let's go back to the race start, Wes.
Yeah, looking at the replay, I can only imagine there was just some wheel spin because other drivers as well got an even better, and he was just on the defensive. I think he was always going to lose that to De Paolo. Couldn't quite see from this camera shot how he, and I think he got hit by Jin Nakamura. Nakamura just up the inside, going for a bit of a half-hearted move, and yeah, that was just it. And we can see now Jin Nakamura apologizing, presumably to Freddie Slater, who takes it all in his stride. But yeah, you can't hide the disappointment there, can you?
Yeah, you can't. He wanted to start the season brilliantly. He wanted to start the season extraordinarily. And it's going to end with him having to just go again tomorrow. That's it for today. And in what's been a very positive year, of course, from Bahrain, he mentioned that he was there for experience in Formula 3. Yes, the sprint was brilliant. He retired in the feature race due to some air technical issues, so that was disappointing. But he had a brilliant weekend overall. That's what he could take away from that. And then also similar things in GB3. He had contact with Johnson and Pradell in the GB3 race in the reverse grid last time out, as we referenced earlier on in the broadcast. And, well, it was really, really... he was really hoping when he came into this to just be able to contend at the front. But he'll get many more opportunities. He will be the driver to beat. So this is a big opening for so many other drivers as they try bolt forward, take advantage of this opportunity, which they won't get much, and try and come up with something magical.
I think a lot of the fans tend to underestimate what a competitive championship this is, and especially for those of you at home who would have watched Slater just absolutely dominate everybody in GB3 last week, to see him make a mistake off the line the way that he did is just very, very surprising. And I think, obviously, it goes without saying Slater will win several races this year, but the omen or the precedent that this race will set to where he's not going to have it all his own way, I think just should whet our appetites and for things to come, as it looks like the safety car is in this lap. So well done to the marshals for clearing it or the cars away so quickly.
Absolutely. Rashid Al-Daheri slightly wide. As we make our way through, putting his foot down, Matteo Di Paolo takes us to the green flags here in FRECA once again in our season opening race at Misano. Across the line we go, and they are maintaining order down into turn number 1. Let's see whether anyone can try and make some moves throughout the rest of the lap, but it's still Matteo Di Paolo ahead of Evan Giltet and Rashid Al-Daheri, our top 3, as they all just try and get some heat into those tyres as we go racing once again.
Yeah, all clean in the first couple of corners so far. They're all running line astern. It was a pretty good start or restart from Matteo Di Paolo. He is not going to be caught very easily by Evan Gilter, but Gilter's got a lot of experience behind him at this level. He seems to be coming under a bit of pressure at the moment from Al-Daheri in the light blue car behind him. That being Prema Racing. I think his sponsor is I forget the name of it now, but yeah, that's the reason for the sky blue paintwork. But he is running in a Prema, the same team as Slater, and he's doing pretty well right now.
Prema, the class of the field, many times when it comes down to this category. We've got Pedro Calero just trying his absolute best to defend. Talking about defending, we're getting quite a lot of that further back, and we are going to find ourselves seeing on this opening tour Kasper Stuka really having to dart all over the road to attack and defend. And in this type of category, Wes, that is usually the case. You're both attacking and defending at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. It tends to be quite difficult to get to within a distance where you can make a move because of the aero wash that these cars produce. Hopefully that's something that the new car, when it comes out next year, will mitigate to a certain extent. But right now the drivers are doing a great job at just being able to stay with the car in front and not lose so much time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyre saving, quite a lot going on at this stage. We saw really a lot of tyre saving when it came to the race in Italian F4 earlier on. Of course, there are 4 races across this weekend. They have groups due to the amount of drivers. We've got 41 in total in that championship. In the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, right now we have a field of 26 stars all battling, and we watch them all make their way to B. Yeah, they are remaining very close. Beaton's under a bit of pressure from Nikita Bedrin at this stage, so he'll be trying to try his best to just stay ahead. We've got Clara just trying to also defend from Taita Kato. So loads of battles developing, even if of course everyone is in a train. Loads of battles developing in the middle of those trains, where some drivers are just able to follow that little bit more closer.
Yeah, that's right, and particularly Bedrin with the experience he has, and let's not forget he took part in the first race of F3 this year in Australia, and did extremely well. Managed to get a podium out of it. Sadly, he's not able to do the rest of the season, but yeah, he's a very, very quick driver, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull a surprise today.
I wouldn't be surprised either. A really talented driver, and yeah, he found himself fourth in the championship as well when he left Australia. And it is really interesting, AIX being able to grab all of these points by giving opportunities to Bedrin, giving opportunities to Slater. Maybe it is a good idea for the team's championship just to dump random drivers in there at this stage. Loads of different talented drivers they're finding that can fill one seat. Okay, so here we go then. 21 minutes and wait for it. 30 seconds to go on the world feed pictures as well. Do sync up with us as we continue the action as the race begins to calm down. And here we go. We have a really fascinating fight continuing to develop in F1 Academy. That's about to begin. I'm just also currently seeing, but a really fascinating fight developing still here. Gilter beginning to beginning to fade a little bit away from Di Paolo. So Di Paolo just trying to take control of this contest at this stage, and he's doing quite well.
Yeah, he just did the fastest lap of the race on that last lap to extend the gap he has to Evan Gilter. It's 1.1 seconds, so nothing that Gilter couldn't reel in if he is so able to do. But yeah, right now we're just in a bit of a, I would say, DRS train. Of course, they don't have DRS, but like I said before, the aero wash and the dirty air that you get from these cars is quite bad, and it's what the drivers are struggling with now. Of course, that aero wash will cause the cars to slide more, causing understeer, and that'll just get worse and worse each time. So it's something very difficult for the drivers to try to overcome.
Yeah, it's basically circuits like Monza, where you just have lots of long straights where these drivers manage to deliver us with constant crazy action. But you may get quieter rounds in this championship. It's not quiet though if you are near the back of the field. We are seeing some battles. We have Nant Howard Birnbakti, I believe, just trying his absolute best to defend further back. And yes, that is going to be Nant Howard Birnbakti trying his absolute best to keep it going. And he is also finding himself right now just trying to defend from Enzo Deligny as well. And it's getting super tight between the two of them. Deligny trying to get to the inside. We've been waiting for action. And he's got ahead of Nant Howard Birnbakti. Not the only battling going on. Ricky Lee also trying his absolute best to keep his foot in further back. And yes, here we go then. We are finally getting a little bit of wheel-to-wheel action going here around Misano as these drivers now begin to get into the phase where they try and give it their all in this race.
Yeah, that's right. Well done to Deligny. He's a very quick driver, I think. Suffered a bit from a relatively average qualifying session, unfortunately for him. He's usually pretty good at qualifying, but he's making up for it now in the race, getting past Birnbakti.
He is indeed. So we are currently seeing everything right now just be really close. The drivers will be assessing what they can do at this stage. They'll be in conversation with their engineer. So they'll be looking at everything, and then of course they'll take all of the data they get from today, bring it into tomorrow as well, where they basically just go again. Basically go again for another 30-lap contest in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and it's going to be a contest which will surely, definitely mean that we've got some phenomenal action going on constantly, and the season will get better and better throughout. I think that is definitely going to be the way. That is going to be super tight as we are going side by side, and the Prema fighting away by, and that is going to be a fantastic move completed by Jack Beaton.
Beaton on Lee the dummy going through that section there. Yeah, well done to Beaton. That's not an easy move to pull off. And now Kanato Lee's going to come under pressure from Bedrin as well as they go over the line.
Great stuff. Outside to the inside, very quickly selling the dummy. As Wes told you, a fabulous move from the Prema driver, another driver coming from the Italian F4 Championship from last year. And I remember seeing his name up there in quite a couple of the races, which was great to see. So I was excited to see how he would do. And he's immediately delivering fantastically in terms of overtaking action and trying to make some overtakes. He finds himself, as we mentioned, in that 6th place. So after Beaton's been able to get by, still a lot of pressure going on, and that is going to be a very late move on the brakes. Super stuff coming in from Nikita Bedrin, who sends it up the inside. They will continue to run side by side, and you are going to see Taito Carter do his absolute best to try and defend this. They still remain side by side, but Bedrin is able to get ahead.
Yeah, that's right. Kanato Lee, for whatever reason, just is falling victim to a number of drivers. Perhaps he's not been able to save his tyres as much as everybody else, and now Yamakashi's going to go around the outside. Can he make it round? Yes, he can. And Kanato Lee loses another place.
Wow, fantastic racing going on. This is the battling that we wanted in this championship. And when we come to categories like this, yes, it is great to see the drivers before they become big, but it's also great to enjoy some motor racing, especially on a day like this, where we have Formula 1 coming up. We've still got a couple of hours to wait until the sprint race for that. We've got some fantastic Italian F4 and FRECA action to treat us with, including F1 Academy qualifying, which is going on at this exact moment, and you can catch that on the official JB Motorsports channel, JB Motorsports 1. Right now that is taking place, so do go and show some support to that stream as well, and it will be interesting to see how that session will go. And that's where Dorian Pan is this weekend as well for all of our viewers. Of course, Dorian Pan not competing in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine due to her commitments with F1 Academy this week, and we're still finding ourselves battling our way through, and we're still seeing more overtakes by Bora this time to the inside. A super move to get by. It is still not done yet. They will continue to go side by side and battle their way through. Can Kanato Lee keep his foot in? Bedrin is getting the place, and he's moving up.
Yeah, Bora came from a hell of a long way back there to send that move on. I think Kanato Lee will be just impressed at the speed he managed to whistle by and still make the corner there. Brilliant move from Bora.
Super stuff from Nikhil Bora, able to move by, and that is super stuff from him as we get to 15 minutes completed in this session. They are still all right now looking to see where the opportunities are. 1.3 seconds out in front between our top two of Di Paolo and Gilter, and still the exam question goes on for the rest of the field to where they can make overtakes. Fastest lap again. This is turning into a super performance from Matteo Di Paolo.
Yeah, that's right. He's not leaving Gilter for dead by any means. The gap is still only 1.4 seconds at the moment, so Gilter's speed is still good, but Di Paolo at the moment, his speed is just that little bit better.
Yep. That is the case right now. Still they all fight. Still they all navigate their way through around this circuit. And you are going to see Enzo Deligny also waiting for his chance further back. Let's see whether he can also go on the attack. Let's see whether he can make the move out of the slipstream to the inside. And that will be one of the more easier overtakes you have seen completed. He'll run out wide. He'll still have the drive off the corner to make sure that the position belongs to him. And you are going to see Kanato Lee trying his absolute best to get the up and under to fight back. Can he get better traction off the corner? He's still looking for it. He's still trying to debate where to go. And he is going to be pulling alongside. At least he's going to attempt to try and fight this one. But yes, he's really beginning to fade down the order as we do finally see the move fully being confirmed for Deligny as they make their way through.
If you look very closely on the stream, you can just about start to make out blisters on a couple of Kanato Lee's tyres there, and considering we're only just past the halfway distance, this could be a bit of a bloodbath for Kanato Lee, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. Exactly the case. 13 minutes to go then in this session, and we currently are taking a look at Rashid Al-Daheri in the number 14, having a quiet race. I think that is the case for our top four at this stage. The top, outside of that, they were battling, and now we're also starting to see Clero get himself settled well. So is Taito Carter, so is Jack Beaton. They're all just following at this stage, but yeah, I mean, we are going to see better races, as we've mentioned. We've already had some great overtaking and some great action, let me just add. But whereas it's going to be getting really, really exciting throughout when we are able to see some other circuits. Of course, this is primarily a MotoGP circuit, so it's going to be quite a lot exciting when we get to stuff like Monza and all of those amazing venues at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, FRECA, being a European-based series, goes to some of the greatest racetracks in the world. I mean, just a couple of weeks' time we'll be at Spa. I think that, for many motorsport fans, has got to be up there, if not at the best. We've also got Zandvoort, Budapest after that. We go to Le Castellet, Imola, the Red Bull Ring after that, Barcelona, Hockenheim, which has unfortunately fallen away off of a lot of racing calendars this year due to financial reasons at the track. And then, as you said, Monza, excuse me, for round 10, the finale. So,
in our picture right now, Nand Howard Birnbakti, as he tries to see whether there's anything he can do about Kanato Lee. And yes, as you mentioned, not turning into his race, and there's a whole train right now waiting to attack. We also currently find ourselves with Ye trying to also fight away by. We've got another Trident driver of Ricky Lee in there as well. So loads of drivers waiting for their opportunities, but it's really turning into a race to forget for Kanato Lee. We're getting super tight to a battle for second place in a few moments. Rashid Al-Daheri doing a lot of work to be 5 tenths away from Gilter.
Yeah, big moment there. I think that was Ricky Liu, who did ever so well not to, well, first of all, not to lock up, but then not to go into the back of the car in front. He's fighting with the RPM cars. I think that's Enzo Ye in front of him, and then behind him, the driver who's attacking him is Enzo Peugeot.
So, 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go on the clock. We have one extra lap, as we do in Italian F4 and FRECA. It's a 30-minute plus 1 lap race! That's a late move coming in, and Peugeot's going to fight away by. Getting impatient. Some of these drivers in the train, a late move, a great overtake to take the place.
Yeah, fabulous move there from Enzo Peugeot. He really caught the driver ahead, Ricky Liu, napping. As we see it on the replay now, there was no way that Liu could do anything about that great move from Peugeot.
Side by side, and that is going to be a spin coming in for Kasper Stuka, who's going to go round. It was getting aggressive, it was getting really tight. Stuka trying to stand on the power, trying to do some battling, but instead he sees his car spinning round.
He's pulled a load of gravel back onto the track, unfortunately. Hopefully that won't affect anybody's race too much. But yeah, just Stuka getting it all wrong at the first couple of corners there. Let's have a look at the replay. Just goes in. He has a lot more speed than the car in front, but just can't do anything with it. Hasn't got the space, and just loses all grip, and around he goes.
Around he goes indeed. A moment to forget for him, and he will try regroup now, continue on, get to the rest of this race, and look to see what better he can do in race 2 tomorrow. Al-Daheri still just in the wheel tracks. He'll be waiting for an opportunity. He'll be waiting for a chance to get past Evan Gilter if any opportunities do come. Di Paolo, though, just controlling this race absolutely phenomenally at the front. He's not miles up the road. He's just maintaining the gap at 1.7. If there is a lockup, if there is a little mistake, he's keeping himself just in a safe boundary at this stage, just making sure that he has a good, decent gap where he's not under really any pressure, but he's also not pushing too hard.
Yeah, that's right. If anything, he's coming under pressure from Aldehari behind, but he's just not able to get within that half second. He needs to be able to get past as the two RPM cars start battling, go off the track. The stewards might not look at that so favourably. That would have been Enzo Ye, I think, going up the inside of Enzo Peugeot.
Indeed. Well, it's really getting now an exciting race near the end. As it all starts to boil over, this is the moment where Aldehari has to deliver if he wants to fight away by. Further 3/10 taken by the man in the lead, which is Matteo Di Paolo. So he just continues to push on, and Gilter's attention now turning a little bit and focusing on directly in behind, because now he's got a driver of Aldehari who will take any opportunity that there is to take that position away, and it's going to be really fascinating to see how does Aldehari approach this. Another driver who of course was in GB3 and is doing a dual campaign with FRECA. It's a good run for Aldehari. Will he be able to get a run down towards the first corner of this racetrack? Closing in, closing in, closing in. Doesn't decide to go for it, but now he is really in close proximity and will need a response from Gilter on the defensive side.
Yeah, and we just saw what happened to Kasper Stuka, who tried to make a move through the first couple of corners there. Aldehari thinks better of it, and he needs to, really. He's got far more to lose, being up in third place, trying to go for second. And although there's only 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. He could close in on the back of Di Paolo too. So Aldehari, he's done the job of saving tyres, probably better than Gilter in front of him, and now he has to do the difficult part of making use of them.
Evan Gilter, a driver who has won. He's the only driver in this field who has won a Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine race. So if anyone else other than him takes it, it is going to be a brand new winner. And in this case right now, it is going to be Di Paolo. But Gilter, an experienced driver, there's a reason why he's up there. There's a reason why he finds himself ahead of Rashid Aldehari and doing a great job at defending, even right now, with some pace that he probably wouldn't have wanted, especially when he knows there was an opportunity to try go for the win. Out of the final corner we go. That will be another lap completed for the field. Still 5 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, plus a lap to go after this one. But it does look like Di Paolo is on his way to take the win, and we have never seen Rashid Aldehari, of course, on the podium as he comes into this championship, hoping to get that straight away then in this race.
Yeah, of course, with Gilter and Aldehari focusing so much on each other, it's allowing Di Paolo to ease that little bit more out in front. The gap now is 2.2 seconds, so he's got to make the most of this, and with only 5 minutes to go, he absolutely has the advantage.
He has the advantage indeed. He has the chance as they all fight their way through. We cut over and take a look momentarily at Jack Beaton, dishing out a brilliant overtake earlier on in the contest. Pedro Claro is the driver in our picture. He's 1.2 seconds away. If Gilter and Aldehari get too much into each other, it could open the door for the Van Amersfoort man of Claro to get involved and also try and get that podium. And it will be fascinating to see whether he is able to push on at the end, just get inside the 1 second, just keep it within, and to be up there in case any opportunities open up, because things could boil over very, very quickly in this battle.
Yeah, that's right. And for anybody wishing for an update on the F1 Academy, which is being covered on JBMotorsports 1 at the moment, the F1 Academy qualifying is going on, and the heavens have just opened. It is absolutely pouring with rain. So as soon as we're done with the race here in 4 minutes plus 1 lap's time, head over there and catch the action in the F1 Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Do come over and do that. I'll actually head over momentarily and join the guys momentarily in the box. We can't just chill too much though. We've got an Italian F4 race coming up as well. But yes, an interesting moment when it comes to that qualifying. Is this the moment for Rashid Aldehari to find a way by? close, but not close enough. Car lengths away at this stage, and they are both going to be extracting everything they can. They're both going to show their class and talent as they battle over this second position in the final stages of the opening race of the year.
Yeah, it could go either way. Definitely, Gilter's tyres are looking pretty second-rate, but of course, with the aforementioned dirty air behind these cars, much less the narrowness of this Misano track, it's going to be extremely difficult for Aldeheri to get alongside or even outbrake Gilter into one of the corners.
It is going to be difficult indeed, as we've already described it quite a few times across Italian F4 and also this. It is a MotoGP circuit, not really for Formula racing, even though we've still seen some great action coming from this championship and a couple of great overtakes in Italian F4 earlier on. It is still a circuit which, as I've already mentioned quite a few times, we are going to see a lot more racing where the drivers can go side by side, and hopefully it'll get even better next year with a new car coming into the mix. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really cannot wait for it to all begin. But right now, all of our attention is going to see whether Aldeheri can find a way to just catch out his rival, and as you mentioned, Rez, it's going to be hard to pull alongside and properly make the move, so it may even need to be braking a little bit later and catching Gilter out.
Yeah, and just to illustrate that that fact even more, Kanato Lee, who we saw struggling with his tyres earlier in the race, he's 7 seconds behind Enzo Deligny, who was the last driver to overtake him, but Birambati, who's behind him now, just cannot find a way past. So even with a significant advantage on the car in front, it's still incredibly tough. It
is really a tough challenge for absolutely everyone, but it's going to be really turning into this race a great challenge as well for Aldeheri to see whether he can get by. It is good to learn different traits at this level and iron out those little errors, iron out the race styles for the drivers before they get to the bigger stages, the higher stages of Formula 3, Formula 2, and then guess what? If everything's gone right, you find yourself in Formula 1. And Pedro Claro is closing in to this battle. So we asked the question whether these two holding each other up could invite Claro in. It absolutely has. And he now absolutely finds himself as a contender to get onto this podium place if it all boils up ahead of him directly a couple of meters in front as well. So let's see whether the Brazilian driver can wait for the opportunity. Di Paolo just ticking off the final laps and corners of this one.
Yeah, that's right. Pedro Claro. He's got a lot of pedigree. He's the former Brazilian F4 champion from I believe 2023. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to overtakes. It has a bit of a lockup through that corner, but so he does need to still work on protecting his tyres, despite the fact that we only have a few seconds left to go in this race. So he does need to get a bit of a wiggle on if he's going to make an impact. Gilter, though, seems to be in control, more or less. Famous last words, of course. Yeah, Aldeheri just hasn't been able to get alongside, much less try for a legitimate move.
Let's see whether he's going to have an opportunity as we come over the line. Rashid Aldeheri is going to be giving it his all. Can he try do something into turn number 1? We're on to the final lap of the opening race of the season. If Aldeheri wants to move up to second, it has to be now. It has to be right to the edge. It has to be full attack, full push in the final stages. Is he going to be prepared to risk it, or will he decide to sit in behind? Our winner is on his way to get to the checkered flag first. That will be Matteo Di Paolo in a couple of moments. We'll see him for the winning moment, but right now we're looking to see whether Rashid Aldeheri can make them in for second place. It's the best opportunity that he's had, trying to go around the outside. Can he get the cutback? Can he try get better traction? Wide for Gilter. Aldeheri still has a chance as well. He goes to the outside line. Will he be able to flick it all the way around the outside? He's just setting it up. Gilter with a lock-up. Can Aldeheri get the up and under? He still can't do it. It could get really close down to the next few corners. This battle for second place raging on still, as we're about to see the winning moment for Matteo Di Paolo. It's still super tight. Aldeheri in the wheel tracks, trying his absolute best to find a way through. The Van Amersfoort Claro is closing in, and is there going to be the chance? Gilter, all out of shape, arriving down to the braking zone, and Aldeheri has got close. He hasn't got close enough, and it's turning into a fantastic fight in the final stages of this race. Claro is going to run out of opportunities, but for the first time in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, Matteo Di Paolo takes the win. He wins the season opener of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine in 2025. It belongs to him in Misano. He beats home Gilter, who will get on the podium once again in the championship, and it will be a first podium for Rashid Aldeheri, who finishes in third. Claro closed in the battle, but he's going to finish in fourth, and then we're going to final serve with Titacato in fifth, but it all belonged to Di Paolo. Brilliant in qualifying, topping his group earlier on, and now the winner of race 1.
Brilliant controlling drive by Matteo Di Paolo there. He had an excellent start off the line, managed to beat Freddie Slater into the first corner, and he really never looked back from there, did he? And also, full credit to Evan Gilter. That was a brilliant defensive drive. He was struggling with his tyres, I think, for most of that race. But with the exception of the final lap, I mean, Aldeheri never really showed much initiative in trying to get past.
Absolutely the case. A brilliant, extraordinary motor race coming to a close, and it's heading Trident's way with Di Paolo. It'll be celebrations for them, and it's going to be an opportunity that, well, most of the field would know that there will be chances to win, but it's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see how this is all going to work out later on as well today with the Italian F4 race. But there was always going to be an opportunity when Slater has issues. It was always going to be the chance to move up, and the drivers had to be there to capitalise. Matteo Di Paolo did. He ends as the winner for Trident, and then it was Gilter who finished in second, brilliant defending up against Aldeheri, who's in third. Claro closed in but missed out in fourth. Tatacato with a race that ended in fifth, beaten in sixth, a great move from him earlier on. Bedrin using his experience to get to seventh. Then it was Yamakoshi ahead of Ashke Bora and Enzo Deligny in 10th position. In 11th there was Kanato Lee. He was really on a defensive drive today. Nant Howard Birimbakti finished in 12th. Enzo Peugeot was in 13th. And then it was Ruki Liu in 14th position. And then Rui Hengie is in 15th. Giovanni Maschio in 16th. Dion Goda finished ahead of Stuka, who had a spin earlier on in the race. And then it was Borna in 19th position. Valerie Rinicella finished in 20th. And we are going to go to our final page as we confirm the brilliant results from this race, and it was a race that ended in 21st position with Saka, who was able to just find himself with a very quiet race at the back, with 22nd I should say. Carney was in 21st, a great recovery after his sprint when it came to qualifying, and then it was Arthur in 23rd position. Tim Gehards was a retirement along with Freddie Slater and Yin Nakamura. Those two races came to a close in the early stages of the race, but they're arriving in Parc Ferme. Di Paolo is into the hands of his team, and it's a brilliant moment for team and driver. What a way to start off their season.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant for the Trident team. They've very much been in the shadow of the Prema team these last few years, but they keep plugging away, and this is just a brilliant reward for them, as well as for Matteo Di Paolo.
Yep, fascinating, extraordinary, brilliant motor racing. It's so good to have this championship back. It's been such a long wait, but here we are. I loved commentating that final at Monza a few months ago. Definitely quite a few months ago. I absolutely enjoyed that. I didn't want it to be over, but I'm happy that we are here for the full ride, for the full journey this year. We're going to try bring you every single race of the season, including some qualifyings here and there. That'll be on freer weekends, unlike today, where we found ourselves with quite a bit going on, which means, of course, I have to miss an F1 Academy session, which I have to miss it and not be able to watch it live, even though I'm actually commentating, leading the race tomorrow for that championship, and I'm also having to miss out on my F1 hosting duties to call an Italian F4 race as well in a couple of moments when that gets underway. And to be fair, we won't get too much time to just enjoy ourselves when it comes to the F1 Academy session, because basically we are already getting set, Wes, for the next session coming up for Italian F4. Time goes quickly, and I guess it's nice to have it back to back, but it is time to hear from our race winner, and his name is Matteo Di Paolo.
Behind you.
So yeah, I think a really good start already from the launch. I managed to overtake Freddy. Then yeah, T1 was just about, you know, try to finish the overtake. Then yeah, the pace was just so good throughout all the race, and we took a lot of margin from the car behind. I'm super happy. I want to thank everyone. My team, my manager Marco and Giancarlo. I'm glad for their work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Phenomenal drive there from Matteo Di Paolo. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the race start as we got underway, and indeed Freddie Slater not getting the best of launches.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of launches for him. They went side by side, and Wes, would you like to talk us through the rest of this highlights?
Yeah, so the race just never really got going for Slater. Not only did he mess up the start quite badly, but then got taken out by a half-hearted move from Jin Nakamura going through turn 2, just clipped him with his front wing. Then we had Jack Beaton with an absolutely brilliant move on the struggling Kanato Lee. Moves up and down, mostly on Kanato Lee, as for whatever reason his tyres just went off a cliff. We also had the RPM drivers attacking everybody and each other eventually as well. Kasper Stuka just unable to get round. I think that was Ricky Liu, and then yeah, the very last lap finally saw Aldehari try some moves on Gilter, but it was just too late. By that point, Gilter had done enough and very much earned that second place of his. But the day and several fastest laps as well went to Matteo Di Paolo.
Yep. He basically put in that Freddie Slater style performance, and that's exactly what drivers need to do when he has issues as well. Okay, well, I mean, our timing boards have updated to the Italian F4 race. I'll be honest, I don't really mind that too much. Don't really mind that too much, considering that's the next thing that we'll be commentating in a couple of moments' time. So that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine with that being the case as well. But here we go then. Drivers coming on to the podium positions. Aldehari in third. Gilter is heading to the second place spot, and heading all the way to P1 for the first time in the championship, Matteo Di Paolo.
Credit to him, Mark. There's our podium sitters. Matteo Di Paolo, Evan Gilter, Rashid Aldehari, representative from the Trident team as well. Massive congratulations to them. Big smiles on the faces of all our drivers. And Dion Gouda, of course, finishing the highest of the rookie talents, taking the rookie race win. Trophies being presented as well to our podium sitters. Third place trophy, of course, going to Rashid Aldehari. Mentioned his karting successes, also took part in Italian F4 with Prema, finishing 10th after 2 fourth places as well. And took part in F4 UAE, coming fourth in that championship back in 2024. With 2 wins, 5 podiums. Evan Gilter, a very promising start to his season. Once again, a promising start to his campaign, much like last year, only this time not the victory. But he'll have another chance at that tomorrow. But Matteo Di Paolo, this trophy is going to mean oh so much. The young Italian with a first win in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. And what could this do to this young man's confidence? It could be massive for both driver and team at Trident. who will also receive the winning team's trophy as well. With big smiles on the face of Maurizio Salvadori, that's for sure. Home weekend here at Misano. It's a moment I'm sure they'll all treasure. Rookie trophy also being presented as well. Dion Gauda taking that one. As now we listen to the Italian national anthem.
Complimenti ai protagonisti, so please.
Well, there we go. That is the podium completed. They will pose, they will get ready for the photos, and they will be heading up and debriefing now with their teams about what was their opinions on today and what they can do better when it comes to tomorrow. But for now, the celebrations can begin. Not for too long though, as we do it all over again, over the same distance, in the same way, in the race coming up tomorrow. Okay, so Wes, are we able to now get some final thoughts from you then, from this Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine race? The season open is done. What's your thoughts ahead of tomorrow?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a slow sort of mid part of the race, but it really caught on towards the end, didn't it? It was a lot of fun, and also great to see 3 different teams represented on the podium there, telling us that I don't think we can write this championship off in the slightest. I think it's going to be very exciting going forward.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Well, that is going to wrap up everything from the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine season opener. We have completed the opening race at Misano. We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Let's see whether Freddie Slater will be able to get to the victory and become the first British driver to do so in FRECA. To find that answer out, you'll have to join us tomorrow. So see you then, and now join us in a few moments for Italian F4. Thank you very much, and goodbye.